Hi, my name is Tisa Ho. I was born in China, in Guangzhou, and I have the privilege of running the Hong Kong Arts Festival. I like to think of the festival as part of the Hong Kong story as it continues to unfold. So 50 is a point in time, and I think it's also where we are today and where we begin to look forward to the next 50 years. There's also an inherent tension between being a part of the city's history and what we do, which is transient. So a performance begins, it continues, and then it finishes, and the moment is over, it's gone. And yet, it stays and it is a part of that longer history. So I think that's for me, a really fascinating point about the performing arts. And for the 50th, we see this as a continuation of the journey that we've gone, but also very much a beginning of the journey to come. One of the things that the festival has always tried to do, and in fact it's kind of in its mission statement from the beginning, is to act as a catalyst for Hong Kong. So it takes many dimensions. One is just wider general exposure for the audience, because I think for a good performance, you really need a good audience. It takes the two hands, to come together. So then, of course, working with our artists as well, whether creating works with them, whether inviting them to work with us, or whether just letting them meet international artists as well. So all of that has, I hope, fed into the growth of Hong Kong and the Hong Kong story, as it were, in the performing arts. And in the last decade or so, the other thing that I'm really, really happy about is our international partnerships have been both ways. So in addition to inviting work to come to Hong Kong, we've also brought Hong Kong work out. And in addition to learning from people from outside, we've also been able to welcome international interns. It's been such a fun journey. I mean, first of all, I've had the most amazing colleagues to work with, okay? I mean, they don't understand the word can't. So, like we have all bitten off bigger stuff than we could chew and then just gone ahead and done it. There are two major projects in this festival, maybe more than two, but two stand out, in which we had complete control of the whole environment. As you know, we use whatever venues we find in town, right? So we're always living within other people's homes, other people's houses, and living by their rules. So when we did Zingaro from France, right, it was massive. We built the tents, we built the whole environment in which to put the horses, as well as the performers and the musicians and the people. So we had control. We could curate what we wanted the audience to do, how you came in, what space you were given, what impressions you were given when you came in on the way to seeing the show. And that was a totality that gave me the most enormous pleasure to be able to do. And the other one was also sort of like that. That was a power plant in the Kowloon Walled City Park. And because it was outside the traditional venues, so how you welcome people, how they got in, and it was a performance in which people walked around. So how you guide without coercing them, how their journey and how you create this whole experience. I love doing that. So, for example, a major project in the 50th anniversary is Lila. It's an opera that has broken all the rules of opera, that has broken opera in every way that you can think of, in terms of there's nobody singing, you don't have a seat, you're not in an auditorium. It's an immersive, interactive opera, and that's a major opera project. We're working with Hong Kong Dance on a program called Love Streams, which is a dance opera. Taking opera productions, music locally written, and transforming that into a different genre. So both of those are kind of new for us and major productions. And then, I must thank the artists who are willing to do the quarantine to be in this festival. So there's a lovely, gorgeous Esme Quartet from Korea. And the Singapore Rep Theatre is going to bring us Miss Julie. So set in colonial times, which has resonance for Singapore as well as for us. So those are programs that we can look forward to. And because of the limited travel, we have so many local productions, local artists working, including a dance work called Colossus, in which the choreographer is working internationally, and we're working with 50 students from the APA. So this is a new way of working that you know, we'll see. This projection will be very beautiful, but I don't know whether this might be a model for a future where travel is perhaps continues, or even when travel is possible, it might offer a different way of working together. I think we were all forced into digital somewhat, you know, we were all forced into producing for the screen, big, small, whatever. And it's made us think of performance in a different way. It's also given us enormous reach. The capacity to embrace a larger audience and then bring them into the venue. People who cannot for any reason be in the venue are not cut off, because that's still possible. So I think at that level, there are whole new possibilities. And then of course, artists are amazing. They've been using new media to work remotely with audiences, to work remotely with artists, to make that still, to give you that aha, wow moment in a show that is intermediated by technology. And I think there will be more examples of what technology can do, which extends the way that we can tell stories, touch people, make people laugh and cry and feel and think. So that's what we do.